G'day, my name's Cannon, and welcome back to NerdCulture. We're doing a movie review for Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl. Where do I begin? Well, it's been a couple of years since our last Wallace and Gromit film. That was, I believe, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. A fun little film, and I need to watch that one again, as well as the rest of them. I'm going to dust off my VHS tapes and find myself a VHS player, so that I can watch I would say, original three. But it is today's focus, Vengeance Most Fowl. It is Wallace and Gromit as expected. They did to put it in Wallace's turn of phrase, a smashing job. Where can we go from here? I liked it. I liked it a lot. It had everything that I wanted in a Wallace and Gromit film. Now, for those of you who haven't seen it, pause this, go watch the film, then come back, or if you don't care about spoilers, let's get into it. It opens up with Wallace obviously doing all of his inventing. He has invented a series of contraptions to try and make his life easier. Gromit obviously not enthused about it at all. Really doesn't care for a lot of the inventions. They don't necessarily make his life easier as much as they do for Wallace's, just because I think Wallace is very self-focused with his inventions. However, in an attempt to show Gromit the wonders of inventing and the wonders of modern technology, he invents a gnome, Norbot, to help with the gardening. This was sad. Norbot goes and transforms Wallace's, honestly, wonderful garden full of roses, trees, shrubs, carefully kept grass and everything into, very uniform shapes of trees and everything. It was just it went from being vibrant and colorful to very rigid and basically in an effort to help Norbot destroyed the garden. Anyway, Wallace then receives a lot of approving comments from other people within his village, and decides to go for a a gardening business, because obviously as an inventor he doesn't really work. He has a lot of bills, which seems to be a recurring theme for Wallace, honestly. He's just bills. This is how he got himself into the last spot of bother with this movie's villain. Was he had a lot of bills, so he invented something, and it ended up getting him into a fair bit of trouble for it. So he gets interviewed on TV by the local news guys about his invention, his Norbot, and a villain most foul, hint hint, yes, it is indeed him, Feathers McGraw, the penguin, has been watching over from his cell the guard's TV. Decides to use his skills for pilfering to gain access to their computer so that he can, via the internet, reprogram the Norbot from good to evil, and then make himself a small army of Norbots that, upon the next day, go and help the rest of the village with their gardens, but also, at the same time, nick things. The purpose of which we don't quite find out until later. The Norbots obviously build a contraption to help Feathers McGraw escape. There is the wonderful scene from the advertising with one of the Norbots playing the bagpipes as he does an inspection of his army, and then obviously boots the bagpipe player off. And so Feathers McGraw escapes. The subplot for this is the police chief at the time is up for retirement, and as part of his retirement gig, he is going to put the blue diamond from the wrong trousers back on display. It's been stuck in a vault for all these years, and he's decided that as part of his going away celebrations, he's going to put the blue diamond back out in the museum. And so, obviously, with the spate of thefts, Wallace is tagged, and all of his gizmos and gadgets are confiscated by the coppers, as at least one of them tries to get to the bottom of the mystery that it is, while the retiring chief just wants it all done away, dusted, tidied, and to get ready for his retirement. Basically, he's like, I just want it all squared away. I want it done. He's obviously guilty. Just process him, lock him up, toss away the key, and we can get into more important things, like my retirement. So that's your subplot in and amongst, the Norbots being rather evil and uncontrollable. Wallace obviously having a deep mistrust for all things technological, at least when it comes to his owner's inventions, has obviously cottoned onto what's going on, so he has been following the Norbots, tracking them, as well as discovering who is behind the plot, while trying to alert Wallace to the danger. He is understandably unsuccessful. And so it then transpires that Feathers McGraw swapped the diamond for a turnip and hid the diamond inside Wallace's house, inside a teapot. Obviously, Wallace, lamenting the loss of his inventions, has basically become entirely and utterly useless as he goes, oh, nothing works, everything is broken. He tries to use the teapot like a kettle and push the button on top of it and goes, it doesn't work, he's broken. And so when Feathers pulls the teapot down, he goes, what, you making a cup of tea? You can't, the thing's busted, it doesn't work. Completely forgetting that to use said teapot, you have to boil the water before you put it in with the tea leaves, before you then, tip it up into the cup. You can't see the hand gestures, but I'm doing like, hold the lid, holding it with the handle, and just tipping it into the glass like that. With like a little sieve thing. Anyway, tea, yes. Anyway, discovering that, diamond, so then chase and shenanigans involving, what are those things called? Channel boats. There's people have, like, river boats. They're like really long things because Europe still has a lot of water channels that were used during the earlier Industrial Revolution, when they used to draw the boats full of coal with horses, and obviously boats full of other goods and materials with horses down various rivers and channels. So it makes out like they're going pretty fast, but in actual they're just it's going a bit slow. So it all transpires that towards the end of the chase, they've got half a boat hanging off a bridge, with Gromit having the diamond. Gromit then tosses the diamond at Feathers McGraw in exchange for, being allowed up. Feathers obviously double crosses him, jumps off the bridge and onto a train to escape, and Gromit falls. Obviously, Wallace is distraught. There's a big explosion, which you wouldn't expect from a riverboat, but sure, whatever. To be saved by the Norbots, who have been factory reset to be good Norbots. They are then saved. Obviously, Wallace is pulled back up. Everyone laments the fact that Feathers McGraw got away with the diamond, only to find out that Gromit did the ye olde switcheroo with the turnip. And so, Feathers being defeated once again, but still at large, the film ends with the new police chief being the former constable, detective maybe, obviously having her own little board of wire and whatever, logging all of McGraw's disguises and everything else. So that's the film. It ends happily ever after, as it were. To get into some more detail for it, there were a lot of callbacks to other things. Obviously, Wallace's whole wake me up in the morning routine with the pressing of the button and going, hey, Gromit, 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 wake me up. It's time to get up, lad. I'm feeling like, toast porridge, whatever, this morning, has become grander, even much more so than it was in the last film that I saw. And even more so grand than The Wrong Trousers. Like, that has, it's become, well and truly, by far, way more convoluted than, you could ever think. The bike makes a return, mostly because they had a little truck. It got nicked by the Norbuts. Surprise, surprise. But the bike makes a return, and Gromit now knows how to drive that. So that was nice to see. I forget, was it something one, Wall 1 or W&G 1 or something? I forget. Anyway, the Norbots are, to be honest, a little spooky when they're in their evil mode. Like upon watching it, that was just like when he's got his evil programming up, the whites of his eyes completely disappear, and it is, to be honest, very chilling. Like, that was, yeah. I know Wallace and Gromit is for the most part rated PG, but if your kids don't do well with scary stuff, maybe give this one a miss for them. A lot of the soundtrack, dude, was just on point. Listening to the theme for McGraw get played again, alongside, obviously, Wallace and Gromit's theme, was really, really cool. Been humming it to myself all week now. It's a good little mindworm. I do enjoy that. What is it? Wallace still knits. He still has the same wallpaper in his room. Blue with the white bones on it from The Wrong Trousers. The Bills thing that they do at the start is obviously a callback to every other, for the most part, I believe, every other film for Wallace and Gromit, going, all these bills, down to our last copper. The password for Wallace's top secret computer, where he has all of his plans, including in the middle of the desktop, a file that says Norbot. The password for that is cheese, or is it the name of the cheese? Wensleydale. And while Feathers McGraw is trying to guess the password, he sees a photo of the moon in a news clipping he has from the original encounter. Everybody knows the moon's made of cheese, so that was a good callback. So lots of fun to be had in this film. I don't do ratings. I won't start now, but this, if you have Netflix and are looking for not necessarily lighthearted, but definitely something fun to watch, and you've seen the other Wallace and Gromits, you don't have to watch the other ones prior to this. It would be good to watch at least The Wrong Trousers before you watch Vengeance Most Fowl. Otherwise, you don't get the payoff without the setup, if that makes sense. Like, those two are definitely linked. They didn't have to bring back Feathers McGraw. They could have done something else, but this works. It really does. Like, it does make me wonder if the next time we get a Wallace and Gromit film, they'll revisit one of the other villains. Maybe we get what's his name again? Because there was the dog wash. The dog wash one, where the villain turns the dog wash into a dog food factory. Maybe we get to see them in like in a back shot, like sort of like in the background as like as a secondary character. Oh, this is how you know I'm a parent. But during Wallace's escapades, while they're doing the chase at the end, they run through a farmer's field. The farmer is from Shaun the Sheep, who is also in the Wallace and Gromit film with the dog food. So the farmer in Shaun the Sheep doesn't talk very much, so Wallace, when he runs through the farmer's yard and knocks over a stone wall, gets up in classic Shaun the Sheep fashion, where it's all, enacted rather than verbalized. So that was a good call out to some of the other stuff that Aardman have done. But anyway, there you have it. I like this film. It's good fun. I was really happy to see that they've done a Wallace and Gromit film in Wallace and Gromit fashion. That's good. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.